people to look at him and view him as a guy that can go for an opponent
than Khamzat Chimaev.
That's
of
what
course,
Rob said.
I'm well aware that the only blemish on this man's perfect record is a loss to Khamzat Chimaev. But look at Islam Makhachev. He's lost one fight. He's the pound-for-pound #1 on the planet right now. So just because you have one blemish doesn't mean you can't get better. This man has no weak areas. 2 wins in the UFC, 2 first-round knockouts. Of course, the wrestling, the sambo, the grappling credentials, they are all there as well. So when you put it all together and then you consider that this is a 5-round fight, and there is Turki Al-Sheikh, a man that is largely responsible for this massive booming combat sports in Saudi Arabia. But when you think about the matchups, Khamzat Chimaev is a man that has shown that he slows. Will Ikram Aliskerov slow when it gets to round 3 and 4? Probably not. So that's why I say, John, potentially a tougher opponent, but we shall see.
Aliskerov spent 5 or 6 weeks in the U.S. at American Top Team because his fight initially was to be in the U.S. Tonight puts his 7-fight winning streak on the line in what can only be described as the biggest fight of his career to date against the former king, Rob Whittaker. Donning his patented pre-fight mean mug, enter one of the most beloved fighters on planet Earth, the former undisputed UFC middleweight champion Robert Whittaker, 22nd UFC appearance, and still believes on any given Saturday night, Michael, he is the best 185-pound fighter on planet Earth, and a huge opportunity tonight to move himself closer to the belt. Yeah,
without question, we all know the level of competition that he's fought, and when we asked him, spoke to him about becoming a champion again, he said, listen, I am not obsessing about it, pardon me. The only thing I want to do is be the best version of myself. The title is just a result of perfecting my craft. Combat is a way of life for me, the martial arts way. And that's all he wants to do. Be the best version of himself. And if he believes that if he is that, he can defeat anyone on the planet. That is why he was happy to accept a short notice change of opponent, because in his mind, it shouldn't matter. And when we said to him, in typical Robert Whittaker hilarious fashion, we said, do you think Ikram's ready for you? He said, I hope not.
I sure hope. Hey, listen, Robert Whittaker, because of his experience and being a champion and all the things that he brings to the octagon, John, he can be a different fighter from round 1 to round 5. How does Aliskerov handle that? Robert Whittaker has tremendous striking, but if that starts to fail him, he has the ability to wrestle.
All right, the tension in Kingdom Arena is palpable as Robert Whittaker hits the inspection zone. Back with our main event on ABC in 30 seconds. All right, folks, you know what time it is. The main event is upon us. Here's your tail of the tape for this middleweight clash. Robert Whittaker, the -150 betting favorite, is 33. Ikram Aliskerov, the slight underdog, is 31. Both fighters 6 feet even. Both fighters coming in at or below the 186-pound non-title divisional limit, 2.5 inches in reach for the upstart Ikram Aliskerov. All right, now for your main event introductions, here's Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, sanctioned by the Saudi MMA Federation. Our three judges scoring this contest at octagon side are Ben Cartledge, Charlie Amato, and David Lethaby. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the middleweight division, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Sambo fighter, holding professional record, 15 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Makhachkala, Dagestan, Russia, Ikram Aliskerov! And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 26 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Sydney, Australia, presenting the former UFC middleweight champion and the number 3 ranked UFC middleweight contender in the world, Robert the Reaper Whittaker!
Hey gentlemen, understand the rules you're fighting. The list to me, keep yourself protected. If I tell you to stop, please stop. If you want to touch, do it now. God bless.
Two decidedly different visuals in the corners. Robert Whittaker, intensity personified. Ikram Aliskerov sharing a laugh with his corner man a moment ago. UFC history tonight, our first main event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Robert Whittaker and Ikram Aliskerov. And with in red, Whittaker in black.
Interesting seeing the approach from both men. So it's going to be Aliskerov so far 2 knockout. Will he stand and trade? Will he look to open things up with the handouts in the UFC? But as we know, he can grapple as well. Robert Whittaker, as we know, he likes to put the high kicks.
His ability to
blitz in with that lead hand, the left hook.
Be so successful with the jab is because that jab comes from the hip. Robert kind of comes up at a different angle than most expect. Whittaker's not a guy that carries his hands up around his face. That left jab.
And for Aliskerov, I mean, it's such UFC, and then all of a sudden here you are, main event, Saudi Arabia. Talk about jumping in the deep end. You have 2 fights in the US representing your country, taking on a former champion, a man that's...
And you guys may have seen those live odds, but this fight on paper was very...
on a path to becoming the champion as well.
Very close coming in, right? And that's just one lens through which to from bettors alike.
Well, when you watch this kid, you can understand why.
Look at a fight, but Ikram Aliskerov get a lot of respect from odds makers, and
he's one of those guys, Costa, in your 3rd or 2nd UFC appearance, you guys that look, man, if the UFC matches you up with Paul, you know that there's potential, and someone sees that you have ability. Unbelievable that the kid is where he is right now, but he's in there now tonight. Last week he was going to be in a co-main event. Tonight he's in the main event. With a guy that's been to the top of the sport. There it is.
Huge connection by Whittaker.
Down for a second.
Oh! An uppercut. Follows up with a jab now.
Head kick sits in
Back from Whittaker. And that'll do it. How about the Reaper? They've been in Riyadh.
Unbelievable.
Robert Whittaker with a monumental step.
Robert Whittaker does it again.
And that Aliskerov 7-fight winning streak is a thing of...
Does it in style.
Wow. Just like the past, and Whittaker is on the short list.
Talked about it's 2 months to birth. Robert Whittaker comes out of here pretty...
Now at 85.
Hey, John, we clean. Maybe that dude turns around as a backup. He said he'd be down.
Robert Whittaker perfecting his crown.
Now, it seems like that's a real possibility.
What a highlight tonight, Michael.
Oh, without... I mean, The man's an absolute monster. Question Robert Whittaker at his devastating finest. Let's take a look at this. Steps in, jab, right hand, per kick, comes over the top, drops him, and it's the uppercut. Perfect, wobbles Aliskerov. He's trying to recover the leg. The same uppercut that Khamzat Chimaev landed on him.
But even watching Robert Whittaker there, right? Instead of rushing with his hand,
that was perfect.
But Mike,
that was signature.
But even watching, he tries to throw a head kick. Then he takes his time, he engages him. Let me not just start throwing hands. He throws the head kick. That's one of his best right? Trying to finish him, he goes head kick. Okay, I got him hurt. Combinations. Boom. Okay, I don't get him. Now watch him. It's experience. That's a guy that has fought at the top of the sport for. Okay, I'm gonna measure him. Okay, I think I see uppercut. Yeah. Bang. That's really, really long time.
And you saw
what a shot.
And there, sorry, Mike.
No, you're good. I was going to say, look at that in slow-mo.
There was a momentary pause from Whittaker because it looked like maybe Robert Whittaker. Man, has he distanced him. There would be a walk-off, a strike or two for good measure himself now from that result last summer against Drake. And now Ikram Aliskerov in his du Plessis. He has turned back Paulo Costa. Succession. The truly beloved guys on this roster tonight belong. What a moment for one of comes to the Reaper, Robert Whittaker. We'll talk to him after this. We're live on ABC.
Well done, Mama. Good job. 30 seconds. Here we go, Robert. Take your shot.
Mike Pineda has stepped up yet again, putting his title on the line against Rio 3 next Saturday. Also, Ortega and Lopez, Anthony Smith, the former light heavyweight champ, Yuri Prochazka. That is our final act at UFC's Roman Dolidze, and so much more. It all goes down next Saturday as part of it. Before June 24th, and get a special offer, $10 off the International Fight Week 2024. You can buy UFC 303 now. PMPlus.com/PPV.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right, to make this one official, the veteran voice, Bruce Buffer.
referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 1 round, declaring the winner by 1:49 of the very first round. Knockout, Robert Whittaker, the Reaper.
I'm here with Robert Whittaker. Fantastic performances. How good does it feel to not only win like this, Rob, you continue to evolve and just have these fantastic, but to really cement yourself as one of the best middleweights.
I'm the boogeyman, I'm the best in the world, and I'm the most dangerous.
Not only in the world, but of all time.
I told everybody, match up for anyone in the division.
They give them to me. What allows you to do that? Most would not have even taken this fight. You raise your hand right away and say, "I'll do this in this fashion."
Because I'm the best in the world, mate. Fight anywhere, anytime, and I proved it tonight, I'll prove it again. I'm the most dangerous middleweight in the world. I'll take a fight anyone.
Rob, let's take a look at your work. When you throw the head kick, miss, but then you watch him with your got him hurt. The difference in most guys, they just blitz with the hands. Eyes, and you go find that perfect uppercut. What are you to land such a shot?
Yeah, you know, I told everybody.
Thinking in that moment when you can get this dangerous young guy out of there right away.
To lead up to this fight, I'm going to lean on my experience, and that's exactly. I understand what I'm doing. I told you I'm going to be the hunter, and that's exactly what it was. It was experience. I've been in this position 100 times. What I did.
Rob, you told me down to Perth, where Adesanya is going to fight du Plessis, that
the stars will align, but I mean, can we drop a Bobby? Beautiful sequence there in the uppercut to get Ikram.
Yeah, once again, Robert Whittaker proves that he's still one of the best.
Aliskerov out of there, just an incredible, incredible performance, Mike.
that we've ever seen, to be honest. And it was very, very dangerous. A tremendous record, a tremendous track. It seems for him to take on this relatively unknown Ikram Aliskerov. He's got all the skills coming from Dagestan, all the history and the coming out there, and delivered a beautiful knockout. Got the job done in round one, and everything. But Robert Whittaker took it all on his shoulders. That's because, DC, he is one of the best in the world.
It's so risky to do that, right? It's different when you're a former. Yeah.
It's not just words.
No, it's not just words. In champion, and you're working your way back to a title. Robert Whittaker, sign him up. If he signs that contract, Robert Whittaker shows up. Has shown time and time again he is a fighter at his core. Right? A lot of guys don't show up. This man shows up, and this man shows up. Combination. The 1-2 that follows with a kick out tonight. It was amazing, man. Look at this. This is one of his best. That ends with the kick. Aliskerov skirting the octagon. That was a beautiful uppercut. That honestly, that upside. Look at Rob. He's gauging him. Throws the jab. And I mean, uppercut looked like the uppercut I hit Bisping with the last time we sparred.
Well, focus in the fight-ending moment.